Hey guys, I know that my YouTube channel has been boring for almost 2 weeks. And I had to take a step back from it because I was haunted by a video that showed someone having a seizure in real life caught on camera. Even suffering from epileptic seizures is my biggest fear. And the last thing I want is to have another seizure. And I've felt upset about it for the past few days, and I couldn't get it out. I couldn't get it out of my head. It wasn't until I came across a exercise for tapping points for those who are having stress and anxiety. And my mother showed me that, and it probably made me better for a little while. And I thought maybe I could give you the exercise on the tapping points to help you deal with stress and anxiety, and probably to help you feel happy again. And I think the same thing goes for being worried about the coronavirus outbreak we're still having. And we have to stay indoors until further notice. So anyways, I'm glad to give you, I'm probably proud to give you the tapping exercise for stress and anxiety, and for coronavirus, of course. Okay, here's the exercise, and I hope you agree with me. Okay guys, let's have a go at this tapping exercise that I managed to have a look and go over for those who are having stress and anxiety attacks, and you're still worried about the COVID-19 situation we're still having globally. Allow me to show you some of the tapping points that I managed to go over, but not for the facial features. If you're planning on tapping for the facial features, it's best not to touch your face, because that's one of the rules of surviving coronavirus and trying not to get affected by it. And so avoid touching your face. So we're probably going to stick with the top of the head, and that's part of the head that you should touch. Okay, and tap. But first, let's start off on the collarbone, like this, right here. And feel free to close your eyes and take a few deep breaths if you like. But if you don't feel like it, then probably keep your eyes open, because you probably don't want to get dizzy whilst doing this. Anyways, let's start off with the collarbone. I'm probably going to keep my eyes open because I'm probably going to make a little speech and probably a little sentence. Even though I'm feeling stressed and feeling upset about what I just saw, even though I am stressed and worried about the coronavirus outbreak we're still having, it will get worse, but for you, it will always get better. So stay home and save lives, and we can fight this virus together as a team, even though it is happening globally. Feel free to rest your arms and your fingers and your hands after doing the collarbone. Next up, I want to do the wrists like this. Just like that. If you feel like you want to stop tapping at any time, then feel free to have a little sip of water. I don't have one on me, but feel free to take a little sip of your glass of water. Again, a few deep breaths, and feel free to close your eyes if you want to, or probably keep them open. if you want to know where I learned these tapping points that I'm doing right now for this video, I put a video link from what I saw on the internet in the description box and in the iBox. And you'll probably see these tapping points that I'm doing right now. Next thing I want to do is right here at the end of your hand, or probably maybe the left or right side. It doesn't matter anyway. We'll try with the left side. Your left. Again, feel free to take a break or probably have a sip of water if you want to. And this will help you with your stress and anxiety attacks and probably not getting worried about COVID-19. Let's have a little breather and make sure you're not dizzy and feeling like you're gonna pass out. Just have a little breather if you like. So now let's continue with a few more tapping points that I want to mention that I saw in the video that will probably help me with my stress and anxiety and my worries about COVID-19. But I did mention that if you're planning on doing the tapping points in your facial features, be sure just avoid your face, because the last thing you want is to be affected by the coronavirus. So now what we're going to do is do the tapping point on the top of your head like this. So, again, feel free to close your eyes and do a few deep breaths, and if you don't want to, probably keep your eyes open. You don't want to be dizzy or whatever. Okay, let's do the tapping point on the top of the head. And there's one other tapping point that I did manage to do. It's under here. It's right over here, under your armpit. I don't know, but that's the tapping point that I saw in the video that will help me get through stress and anxiety. It's like this. Let's go over some of the tapping points again, if you feel like doing them on repeat. Again, let's do the collarbone one last time. And be sure to say this as soon as you're doing your tapping points. Even though I am upset and stressed by suffering from epileptic seizures or worried about the coronavirus or anything upsetting that's happening in your mind, it will sometimes get worse, but it will always get better. And you'll be able to live a happy life, not being haunted by your fears, and not be stressed and worried about the coronavirus outbreak. Let's do the wrists. And let's do the top of the head again, one last time. Again, feel free to take a sip of water or maybe close your eyes and do a few deep breaths. If not, then probably keep your eyes open if you feel dizzy. I'll do one more breather. If you can't remember any of these tapping points that I just did in this video, feel free to go back to the beginning and probably go over them as your piece of homework. Again, this is something that I watched on YouTube and helped me get through my stress and anxiety and my fear about epileptic seizures and feeling worried about the coronavirus and when it's going to stop and how many cases there are now and counting, and etc. Anyways, I hope you learned something from my tapping exercise and probably feel like watching the video that I probably mentioned. It's in the description box and in the I box. Anyways, now that I'm back on, planning to go back on YouTube after 2 weeks, I will be back doing what I like best, vlogging and trailer reacting, starting on the 9th of April on a Thursday. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. And you can feel like following me on my socials, Twitter and Instagram. I put the links for that in the description. And yeah, it has been a while since I haven't been doing some YouTube videos, like trailer reaction videos and vlogging, whilst still in self-isolation and being quarantined. Anyways, I'll be back doing some vlogging and trailer reaction on Thursday the 9th of April. Be sure to save your date. Anyways, thanks for watching my tapping exercise for stress and anxiety and probably being worried about coronavirus. And I hope you've learned something from it. We'll fight through this together as a team. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. And yet, I'm humbled and thankful to say that because of the coronavirus outbreak we're still having, this is just the beginning of staying home and saving lives and protecting yourself and others from COVID-19. Anyways, thank you.